Y'all, I haven't filmed in a hot minute. I don't even know if I remember how to film. I just washed my hair. I have this ridiculous hair that kind of like dries on its own, but it's not quite dry, so let's just put this. That is a look. Wow. She's an influencer. Ooh, pretty. I am gonna do a no edits video. I did not think this through because I don't know if I have all the things I need in front of me. Minimal minimal edits. I did get some questions. I did put up a prompt on my Instagram and I did get some questions because I was like, what do you want me to talk about? So I will say a lot of them were about things I cannot talk about, which is like future things for Cinch, and I love you, but I don't want to be giving away my launch details. Is that a helicopter? Sir. This is a knife. Knife? Oh, this is a no-fly zone now for like a couple of hours, okay? So I do have, oh my gosh, do I have responses? Okay, so we will not be doing all of these. Again, let's, we will not be doing that. Oh my, I'm not filming, so am I filming? Hello? Is this on? It's on. Okay. There is a let's start with this one because this is a good one. I will be doing minimal b-roll, minimal editing. I will call this no edits, but I might need to like stop and like redo things. But this is a really good one. What made you change your mind about having a beauty brand? I think that's a really good question. I will link the things that I'm using down below. Hit myself in the head. She's a pro. But I will not be talking really about the makeup because I just want to chat. So what made me change my mind? I used to say, and again, I've been on YouTube for over 10 years, very active here on this channel, and I did say, I don't want to start a beauty brand. These are the things that I would change when I was editing, because I don't think that I could bring something to the table that other brands aren't already bringing to the table. And that's the part that changed. And I will say, me doing collabs with other brands, by the way, my Hella palette is back in stock. You have been going on and on and on to Oden's Eye about missing Hella and wanting it to come back, so they decided to bring it back. It's a small quantity and it's back for a limited time, so if you were interested in the original Hella palette, it is now available in a it's a box where you get the Hella palette, and for the price of the palette you also get a couple of mystery items in the box. So if you're interested in that, check it out on the Oden's Eye website. I will leave that down below as well. So I, through my collabs, realized that is not true. I do actually bring quite a lot to the table when it comes to products and ideas. And I also realized with collabing, because when you collab, and I've been very lucky, I've been collabing with a couple of brands. I've been doing a bundle with Divina, I have been doing a bundle with Sigma, I have been doing my own palette with Kaleidos, and I've been doing 3 of my own palettes, plus some lippies with Oden's Eye. And of course, I've been lucky because the brands have basically been like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Which I'm very grateful that's the opportunity that I had. And I'm also, and you probably have seen that on my channel, I'm very assertive. Like, I know what I want, and I'm also not afraid of conflict, which served me well when I was working as in my office job, but doesn't always serve me well online, you know, because I get myself into trouble by opening my big mouth, and this has made me, by some people, be seen as I am like rude, but I'm just standing my ground and I won't let people walk all over me, which, when it comes to collabs, really served me well, because sometimes with collabs, brands know in what direction they would want things to go, and I'm the person that just goes, no. We will not be doing that, which for me has served well, because every collab item that I've released has been very up my alley. Like when I was doing a favorites bundle that I called, was it Moonwell? I feel like I called it Moonwell. With Divina, such a beautiful thing. I said, I want one of your highlighters as an eyeshadow. So she did that. She repressed she made custom for the palette, even though I wasn't supposed to make custom shades, she did. And she put that in the palette. And I am forever grateful. That was very nice. I love Deandra. Oh my god. We still talk every now and then. Divina's such a great company. You definitely should check them out if you're still into single shadows. And with Oden's Eye, they were like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to do Hela because I want to stick to the Norse mythology because the owner is Swedish and I'm Swedish. And that's what I wanted to do. And they were sending me some samples. They were like, how about these ones? They actually sent me a couple of blue samples with the original Hela palette that I was like, that's cute, but that's not what I want with Hela. Oh my god. So I was like, why don't you include, they're great. The quality is great. You should include those in a future palette. And those are actually, if I'm not totally mistaken, they're actually in the Solmåne 2 palette. Not the 2 one, the original one, the one that's like a rainbow palette. Those samples were some that I'm pretty sure it's the same ones because I swatched them. I'm like, I remember these because I told them these are fantastic, but not for this palette, not for the Hela. That one is not having any blue. Sorry, I had to cough, but I think me being assertive made me be able to do exactly what kind of things I wanted when it came to makeup. And there are always limitations though. We have to use some of the packaging that they already have. We have to be around the price points that they already have. We have to have the lab that they have, of course, the formulas that they have. So there were always things that were out of, like, that I couldn't decide. Price point, how many we're making, where are we offering them, what lab are we using, and how long are they going to be available, and are we going to restock? All of those things were always something that I couldn't choose. And also, like I said, I did not release the Paisley Hoop palette, which is a neutral palette. I always kind of wanted to do a neutral palette, but of course that's not what the brands wanted from me. I don't want to say I'm known for anything, but I'm definitely not known for neutral looks. That's not what I'm known for. So I do understand why brands are like, does this one still have the plastic on? Oh my god, look at this. This is so satisfying. So I do understand that, like, not that I even brought it up. Nobody said any, listen, this might sound weird, but I don't think any brand ever said like no to me. But I realized that that's not what they're looking for from me. But I always wanted to do a neutral palette. And I think that that's the part that changed, that made me want to start my own brand. Because I was like, you know what? I actually can bring something to the table, because I know the back end of these brands. I do know that my collabs have been very successful for these brands. I do know that my products have been some of the popular, if not the most popular products that the brands have had, which makes me realize that I do have something to bring to the table. There is something that I have to give to the community. And I also said that I love being okay, let me rephrase. I love makeup. I love making videos. I love creating. I love thinking of video ideas. I even like editing, but I'm starting to get a little bit more disenchanted with the people aspect of the internet, because I've realized with time, the internet didn't used to be like this. We didn't used to be this crude. We didn't used to be this cruel. And I feel like I've kind of fallen out of love with parts of the internet. But I'm not fallen out of love with makeup or the makeup community. So I also realized that owning a makeup brand will enable me to be part of the makeup community, even when I don't want to be a public person anymore. So I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds. And I feel like the 2.5 years that I have now been doing YouTube, I feel like I've been able to do some of the things that I really wanted to do. Like, I wanted to create my own eyeshadow palette and my own eyeshadow palette formula, and it did take longer than I thought. And I also will say I have started changing some of it, because again, we're going towards, even though I don't want that, we are going towards a talc-free makeup community. So I have had to work on a talc-free formula as well for like future releases, but that's something that we will talk more about in the future. I feel like all my tan disappeared. I also feel like my hands are darker than my face. It is what it is. But yeah, that's basically what changed with. And I got a lot of questions asking about like, let me get a brush. I got a lot of questions asking about like future releases and what do I have in the future. And I feel like I've told you as well, because I know for sure I've told my friends that my goal with Sinch is to have like 3 to 4 releases a year. That for me is like a good, like once a quarter. If I miss around summer, not the end of the world, because summer isn't the best time to release makeup products because people are like, you know, out doing other things. I'm using this bronzer. I don't know how I feel about this bronzer. I feel like it kind of sticks in one space. Like, I don't love how this one performs. I feel like it kind of like sticks down. Like, do you see that? I don't know how I feel about it. Anyways, so I'm hoping, I do have something in production, and if we are lucky, I will be able to release it towards the end of the year, but if not, it will release beginning of the year, because again, something is in production, and it will be something that I actually have seen a lot of you ask for, so that makes me really happy actually. Let me see if I have any other good questions. Oh my god, it disappeared. No, don't do this to me. Now I have to go back in. This is, again, I already probably made some cuts here because I've been like sneezing and coughing, and nobody needs to listen to that, but I'm doing the best I can here. How's your October reads going? You know what? They're going really good. I've already read 4 books in October, and I am starting the first Murderbot book. If you are not keeping up with my reads, I do have a second channel as well where I talk about books, because reading is one of my favorite hobbies beside makeup. I mean, makeup isn't like even really a hobby anymore. Like, it's my career that I'm fully enjoying, but reading, freaking love it. So I've read 4 books in October so far, and I have read 95 books this year. 95. This is going to be a year when I've read over 100 books, which I haven't done since I was a teenager. And yeah, I'm starting the Murderbot number 1 next. I was going to start it yesterday, but I just had cramps. All I did was play League of Legends, which is my second big hobby, and I actually made it to Platinum 1 yesterday. I know! I'm only playing TFT. I'm not playing original mode. I'm only playing TFT. It's my absolute favorite, and I love it. And I made it, like I said, to Plat 1 yesterday, and I feel very excited about that. I don't know how I feel about this bronzer. I keep saying that, but like the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I don't think this is for me. And I'm actually having some people over for dinner today, which is going to be really fun. Christina, the owner of Gourmande Girls, is coming. Lisa, my best friend, is coming. And Corvette, another friend of ours who lives here in Austin, is coming. And I am going to invite them to dinner, and we're just going to hang out. I'm trying to not get too caught up in like work, and actually like, you know, enjoy life as well. Because like life is short. Okay, I feel like I'm in a good space. Let me see if I have another question, and let me get a blush. Moving out of the US. I did talk about this in a recent Get Ready With Me. I think that was like last week or something. I did a look with the Paisley Hoot, and we are planning to move out during 2026, and we're gonna move back to Europe. We just don't really know which country yet. Could you please address the horrible things that are happening in the US right now? Honestly, I don't know what to say other than my heart is bleeding. And I feel like this is the same with the internet as in real life. I don't understand when we became this crude and this cruel and this selfish. And I feel like we totally lost the plot about like community and caring about each other. And I don't know when empathy just left the chat. It makes me so sad. And I do want this place to be a place where we can, I don't want to say escape, because we can't really escape. I mean, life is the way that it is, but know that like it does make me feel, it's make my heart race. Yeah, it's awful. Truly awful. Do you plan a cool toned colorful palette with Cinch? I'd love to see that in your line. Kind of. It's coming soon. Moving to Europe, how are the doggos? Anything Cinch really? Anything you like really? The doggos are fine. The doggos are doing great. Actually, let me get a blush. Let me see what I want to do. Ooh, this is, again, the kind of thing that would not have made it into the video. The dogs are doing great. We were just in Sequoia and Yosemite, and it was beautiful. I've been posting some pictures on my Instagram, and of course we didn't bring the dogs. We actually have a girl that we hire, because most of the time when I'm traveling, it's only me. Like, Ricardo's not coming because he has work to do, and I ask him, but he wants to stay and work, and I enjoy doing things on my own as well. So basically it ends up being me traveling a lot of the time. And we do have a girl who comes here and she house sits our house when both me and Ricardo are traveling, which again isn't that often. So she spent the weekend here with the doggos, and she stays at our house so the dogs don't have to leave their home. And she brings her dog because they get along really well with our dogs, and they just get a playmate and get to be spoiled by her for a weekend. And she, takes care of our plants and takes in our mail and makes sure that everything is okay. And they've just been having a fun time with her over the weekend. So they are doing great, and she's gonna be staying here with them over Christmas too, because we're going home over Christmas. We haven't been in Sweden for a really long time, and we're going home for Christmas, and we're gonna be seeing our nieces and nephews. I just got a new niece. Last week, my little brother and his wife, Anna, had their third kid. They had another daughter, and she is gorgeous. She's so beautiful. She was born 1 month early, and she's so beautiful, and I'm so excited to meet her as well. They haven't even decided on a name for her yet, but yeah, she's very new, very small, of course, because she was born only 8 months in, and yeah, it's just gonna be really fun doing that. But yeah, she's actually going to be staying here over Christmas. Our dog sitter, she works in tech, and she just stays at other people's houses, house sitting, and then she works from our place, which is, works out great for the both of us. Whew. Do you know where you'll be heading to live next year? No. We were thinking about Italy because that will be easy, because my husband is an Italian citizen. He speaks the language. I speak a little bit of Italian, but it seems like most of the jobs in his sector is in Switzerland. So we're just keeping our minds open. We might end up anywhere, honestly. There's a lot of countries that I wouldn't mind living in. Will you bring more bingo roulette videos? I love them, and it's so fun and creative. You know what? I am planning to film another one of those. Hopefully I'll be able to film that either this weekend or next week. So there will definitely be another one of those. Would you travel alone for holiday if you could? Yeah, I love traveling. Okay, I don't love traveling alone, but I love having an alone day during a travel. So sometimes I'll come there a day early or leave a day late to have a day by myself. That I love. I love the combination of being able to be by myself, but also being able to travel with someone. That's why I love with the Trova trips. I usually come in a day or two early, and I spend the day by myself, and then I have this lovely big group. A trip to Barcelona, by the way, that's next May. I'm so confused. It's confirmed, so we are definitely heading out, and I'm so excited, and we will be doing another live of those. You can always let me know on Instagram if you want to be added to the group chat, and I will leave a link to the trip down below in case you want to check it out, because that one is happening next May. I'm gonna do my brows off camera because they're so boring, and I'll come back and I'll figure out another one of those. Also, this t-shirt, my friend Heather Austin sent me this t-shirt, and she's like, I think you need this one, and she's absolutely correct. I do need this one. It's cowboy boots. Who doesn't need this one? I will link this one down below as well, because what's not to love? I'm back. I decided to go, is this on? I decided to go a little bit closer so you can see something. I think my skin is looking really, really good. I didn't add anything except the brows. Someone's asking, I scrolled to the very bottom now. What's your day life as a content creator? That's a really interesting question. I am going to be doing, this is Radical Rosewood, because I want to use another one of these balms. You can even see from Bella Beauté Bar. I'm going to be using Dreamscape. I want to be using another one of them. I love Radical Rosewood. Is that okay? I do also like overlining a bit. And these are smudgeable until they set down. So I tend to smudge them a little bit so that it's a little bit more smudged before I go in with the balm. Okay, I had to cut some of that because that was not fun whatsoever. So this one I haven't used yet, and I thought it would be perfect with Radical Rosewood. Is there a little blue sparkle in this one? That's cute. Just, I didn't want to have a glossy lip, and I didn't want to have a matte lip. These balms are perfect together with the lip liners. That's a really beautiful color. So I am going to be doing, so this is the Paisley Hoop palette, the one that just launched. By the way, thank you so much for the support of this launch. This is Cinch Beauty's most successful launch to date. And also the Galactic Visitor is back in stock. So I kind of want to do something with the two peachy ones, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I kind of want maybe all of these. I'll start with this one. Actually, I will start with a primer. So, day in the life of a content creator. You know, I wake up at 6:15. 6:15 and I go up, I have a cup of coffee, and usually at 6:30 I am by the computer answering some emails. If I have a video that's going live that day, I will sit down and I will do some the thumbnail and description box, usually at that time, 6:30. And usually I have computer work to do up until, I want to say 9. Around 9. Sometimes it's longer. Today it was a little bit longer because I am still behind on some things with Cinch because of the launch and because of upcoming things and because we just were gone for a weekend. And today I took a shower, I washed my hair, and then I pulled some things to be filming, and I don't know how much it is now. Yeah, it is almost 12 o'clock, so it's almost noon, and I think I started filming just after 11. So filming takes, depending on what I'm filming, it takes between an hour to 4 hours. It depends how much I'm filming, what I'm filming. Sometimes preparing for filming takes a really long time. But overall, I do try. Oh, let me see if I can get a brush. Overall, I do try. I'm going to start with the peach to film before lunch. And then usually around 1, I'm done filming. I usually try to not film longer than 1, regardless of how much I'm filming. And that's when I walk the dogs. So I walk the dogs around 1, and then I take a lunch break. Usually between, if I'm really stressed, that's a 5-minute lunch break. If I'm really stressed, there's no lunch break whatsoever. But usually I would say around 45 minutes lunch break. I like to take a longer lunch break because, listen, life is short, and I do want to take like a nice lunch break. Sometimes I'll work through my lunch, and sometimes I'll actually take a lunch break and I'll play one game of League of Legends. That's why I say 40-45 minutes, because that's usually what a game of TFT takes me. So I'll play a game of that, and then after lunch I will either do Cinch work. Sometimes it will be a lot of work with samples, sometimes there will be some editing, sometimes, usually it's either doing B-roll, editing, shorts, swatches, samples for Singe, that kind of work I usually do after lunch. And I'm usually done with that. It depends on how much I have to do. But I want to say I'm usually done at like 6 p.m. That's usually when my husband comes home from work, and I usually stop working when he gets home. So if he's home at 5, I'll try to be done by 5, but I would say usually it's 6 p.m. Sometimes he comes home later, and sometimes I keep work until he comes home. So sometimes I work even later. If I have a lot of things to do, I'll work until 9, 10 p.m. It happens, unfortunately, more often than I would like to admit, because, you know, editing and all of that takes time. But sometimes I'll stop at like 5 or 6, and my husband comes home later, and I'll read a little bit before he comes home, and then we cook together usually, or he cooks for me if I'm still working, which is really nice of him. Oh, our neighbor has gotten a puppy, and we actually have several neighbors who has puppies, and they're so cute, and they just stopped outside my window. Absolutely adorable. Big fan. Big fan of the puppies. Let me see if I can get... Ooh, I have a little pencil brush here. Maybe I'll do that after. Because I'm going to do the brown shade. I think I'm going to use just a little bit of the brown shade. It's called Earthy. And yeah, that's usually... I know some people are like, oh, and then I go get my nails done, and then I'm like, I'm just here working, which is why I don't do a lot of, oh, look, Rosie Colors just posted it with the palette. That is so stunning. She's so talented. I love the pictures that she takes. Look at that. Can you see? Look at how delicious that looks. Ugh, absolutely beautiful. Ugh. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is so stunning. Oh gosh. Why is she so talented? That's gorgeous. Not question mark. That's gorgeous question mark? No, that's gorgeous exclamation point. That's gorgeous question mark. That's something. Let's not be that person, okay? Let's not start a fight online. Okay, archive. I'm so sorry that this is taking some time. Okay, let me find another one at the bottom. Let me scroll. In general, how long does it take a product to be made from concept to production? I would say about a year, give or take. The lip liners took longer. The lip liners took almost a year and a half. But it's because I was very picky on both the packaging and the colors. I wanted to get the undertones right, because here's the thing, and I am not ever gonna shame any other brand who does this, because I get it. Having a product in production that long is expensive, and not everybody wants to deal with that. And if this is your livelihood, I totally understand why you need to get something out quicker. There was definitely the option for me to just pick colors from their catalog. I know of indie brands, and I'm sure there are mainstream brands who've done exactly this as well. They'll look at all the colors that they're offering, and they'll just pick that and pick the packaging without, because when you're doing a custom packaging like I did, I cannot begin to explain to you how many units I had to buy. Like, it's in a ridiculous amount of units. But if you just order the packaging that they're having, and you're not making a lot of changes to anything, oh, you can have a product sold in just like a couple of months. Like, it can be super easy. And again, I'm not shaming anyone who's doing that. Like, we all have bills to pay, and if it's a good product, it's a good product. I don't think there's, again, anything wrong with that. I think it is boring though when I do see that indie brands will have the exact same products as another indie brand, exact same packaging. The only thing that changed is the logo on it. And I see that quite a lot with, oh, let me get the peach shade again. I do see that quite a lot with non-eyeshadow things, that it's like, I've been presented with those exact same samples, so I know exactly what that item is. And I do wish we were able to customize that a little bit before we released it, especially since they probably also are aware of other indie brands that have that exact same product. But it is what it is. Also, sometimes just because it is the same packaging doesn't mean that it's the same formula. I know not everybody does this, but I do buy my packaging from someone who specializes in packaging, and then I create my formulas with a lab that specializes in formulas, and then I have them assembled. So I don't do a full solution in one place, although that would probably be easier, but they're not able to do exactly what I want when it comes to packaging. And that also makes everything take a little longer, which again, it is what it is. I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm picky, and it is the way that it is. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of the dark brown in this one. And deepen this up, and then we are gonna use, I feel I'm gonna use some of the peach from the other palette and maybe some of the rose gold in this. I feel like that could be cute together. I will say I've been really enjoying doing a lot of neutral looks now that I've been working with like doing a neutral palette. But I mean, I know what's coming next. And again, I don't even know if it's gonna come before the end of the year. But it's definitely not something neutral. And it makes me really excited to dive into some color again. Because of course, outside of YouTube, when I'm doing my own makeup, of course I am using my samples to make sure that everything is the way that it should be. If you have been looking at the vlog that I did for Catskills on my second channel, you would have seen the upcoming launch that it's coming, because I very much did use the upcoming launch there. Okay, let me see if we had some other. I think I screen saved. I tried to be good this time. Which Singe palette in the first day sold the most? Paisley Hoot, for sure. Is the new Singe palette coming to I Feel Beautiful? Yes, it is. The package is on its way. Who do you main in Overwatch? Okay, that's a cute question. Listen, I haven't played Overwatch in a hot minute. Like, I don't even think I have it installed, because that's how long since I played Overwatch. But I used to main Mercy. Is that her name? The one with the staff that's flying with the wings? That's Mercy, right? I feel like she was Mercy. That's who I used to main. And, ooh, sorry about that. And I really enjoyed playing Mercy. I was kind of good at Mercy. It was a fun character. I've never been a support or a healer in like World of Warcraft. My main was a mage, and my alt was a tank, because sometimes you need a tank. But I didn't like tanking either, and that's why I forced my husband to become a tank when he started. I'm like, you should be a DK. I wish this was not true, but no, I actually told him, I'm like, you should be a DK. He was actually a really good tank. He was a good he was a good blood DK. He was a pretty good DPS as well though, but he used to tank for sure. But I feel like I think I'm gonna do like the We Come in Peace. I think I'm gonna do that one. Oh yeah. But yeah, I really liked being a healer in Overwatch. I just haven't played Overwatch in such a hot minute. Why did I use my finger? Because now I need to go and wash my hands. That was a rookie mistake. But yeah, I haven't played in such a... Is that still a thing? Because I remember I used to watch people stream. Overwatch is a really fun game to watch people like stream. Although I will say TFT and League of Legends is probably my favorite thing to watch. You know what? Hard mode Diablo. Hard mode Diablo, oh my god, that was fun to watch people stream because they kept f***ing up and it was so fun. And now I cussed. I never cuss on my channel, which is also probably cut that out because trying to not get demonetized. This is how I pay my bills. So I'm gonna use a little bit of tie-dye, which is the rose gold, just on the edge. And I'm gonna have to... Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm gonna have to go and wash my hands. I do cuss in real life though, but I felt like it was so easy for me to like not do it on YouTube because again, I used to work in an office environment where and write a lot of like really fancy, to wash my hands, a lot of really fancy paperwork that was going out, okay, to like authorities and stuff. So it was really easy for me to turn like the cussing on and off. So I never felt like I was a different person online. I just was work Angie that didn't do any cussing. But I guess I was turning into non-working Angie in this video. Oh, let me do a little bit more of the boogie shade, just a little bit here. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands. And I think I'm gonna use a little bit of that peachy matte. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing even more colorful looks with the next one that's coming because I feel like that's the thing that has been the best thing about owning your own makeup brand. It's, okay, number one, I get to decide everything. Everything. Formulas, price point, how many we're making, how long we're offering them, everything. I get to decide everything. And how proud I feel about the things that I'm creating. Because of course, I love all my collab palettes. I'm so proud of them, but I'm even more proud of Cinch. This is even more me, and that makes me very happy. I should have done something green maybe, because I still haven't shown you anything green with the Cinch palette, but I will, the Hood palette, I'll do that too. But isn't this so cute? It's like peachy, but it's not like, it's not too deep or, I was gonna say aggressive. It's not too aggressive. I'm in my neutral era. I'm not. Watch me do a clown look tomorrow. I took a screenshot of this one before I do my inner corner highlight. This is... Shut down your Reddit haters. I'm so over their posts. I don't watch Reddit. Mainly because I know Reddit doesn't like me. Again, like I said, I'm very assertive as a person. I'm gonna go in with in. And especially Americans, they have a different way of speaking and saying things, which again, I don't think there's any right or wrong. I just think that a lot of times being assertive or being blunt can, it's just is seen as like rude or just, I don't know, being too much. I don't know. If I'm too much, like, I don't know what to tell you. But I have never said or done anything to deliberately try to hurt or put anyone down. So if I ever like hurt anyone's feelings, I did not mean to. Unless you were mean to my friends, because then I probably did mean it. I'm very mama bear when it comes to my friends. I don't like when people talk shit about my friends. Me and Lisa are very similar in that way. We do not accept people being mean to our friends. We're like, absolutely not. I'm actually meeting Lisa today. Did I say that I'm having people over for dinner? I think I said that. The focus was like, no. The focus was like, absolutely, absolutely not. So I don't go to Reddit because I know they don't like me. I mean, probably not everyone. I think that like I feel like I saw, like I said with the internet, I'm gonna use, this is Peach Fuzz by Colourpop. I feel like I saw a change in Reddit as well. I feel like people were having really, and this is back in the day, like I'm talking like 9, 8, 7 years ago. I feel like Reddit was so much more, and I'm not even talking about just beauty guru like forums, because there are several of those. I used to be in makeup forums, I used to be in World of Warcraft forums, I used to be in League of Legends forums. Those are, if you think gossip forums are the worst, oh my god, League of Legends forums, whew, give me strength. They are like the most toxic places on earth. And I feel like I said, there's been a change in how people talk online. People are just so much more crude and cruel. And I don't remember the internet like being like that. I feel like there's been a change and I'm not appreciating it. So I stopped being on Reddit. I actually think I even deleted my account that I had. Or maybe I don't know. I don't have a Reddit account. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, now I was thinking, but I don't go there because I feel like the platform became so toxic in all the forums that I was in. So I ended up leaving one after another. And sometimes, and I say this with love, sometimes people send me posts and they're like, I can't believe people are saying this about you. And I'm just like, I don't want to know. I don't want to. Don't do that to creators. If they want to know, if they want to know, they'll figure it out themselves. They'll go and look for it. But most creators, I think, feel like me, which is like, I wouldn't hang out with a person like that in real life. So why would I seek it out? Like, I've deliberately broken up with friends that gossip in real life. So why would I search them out online, especially if they don't like me? So don't send either me or other creators posts like that. We don't want to know. We don't want to know. We are just not interested in seeing it. And I've said this before, a lot of things that are in there, some of it's like people will say it with their chest, but it's not true. Again, some people, they want to have a reason. Like, I don't like this creator and I need a reason why I don't like this creator. So they see something and it's not super important whether or not it's true or not. They just need something to validate their feelings. So they'll be like, I knew it. I knew this creator was XYZ. Because they need something to validate why they don't like them. And I mean, fair. Fair. I think the problem is when we start spreading those things around and it's like, well, this actually like isn't true. But I also think that like creators, and I say this as a group, not me personally, creators as a group kind of brought it upon themselves because there are a lot of creators that are very flexible with the truth. So it's just giving the whole group a bad reputation. And when you are someone who I don't see a reason to lying online, I have nothing to hide and no reason to lie about anything, I feel like it's not unfair to people to be like assuming that people are lying when they've seen it happen so many times before. But it's a shame because of course, like there are good and bad bus drivers, there are good and bad, I was gonna say politicians, and I'm like, it's not true. There are good and bad online creators, there are good and bad bosses, there are good and bad people working in healthcare. Like, good and bad people, of course there's probably going to be more or less, there's probably going to be more bad people that are politicians, I'm going to argue that, and probably more good people that are working with, I mean, I would like to believe like kids and like elders, I don't know. But I think it's a shame that we kind of like just assume things. But I also think on those forums, one of the reasons, I got mascara on the side, you can't even see it, that's great. One of the reasons why I stopped reading there was, again, a lot of the things that I read wasn't true, and people were just not asking for like, oh, where's the proof, where's the receipts? Nobody was asking for that. So I was like, people are not that interested in that. And also I started, and this again was years and years and years back, I started seeing people talking about me not liking me, and I'm like, this isn't meant for my eyes. Like, they didn't write this to me. If they wrote it to me, they would have written it in my comments. So I realized it's time for me to dip out because I don't want to read this about me and I don't want to read this about my friends. I remember one post in specific about one of my friends was like super, super rude and had some factually incorrect things. And I'm like, I'm going to dip out. This isn't for me and it's not even meant for me. So I'm just gonna dip out. And I still kept being in some other Reddit makeup forums that wasn't about beauty creators, but about like just makeup, and of course in like World of Warcraft and League of Legends. But again, all of them kind of suffered from the same fate, just being very, very negative. And I'm like, this isn't helping me in any way, so I kind of dipped out. And I am not super sad about that. That's not something that I'm missing. There are things that I've quit, like World of Warcraft, that I miss. And then there are things that I've quit, like online forums, that I most certainly do not miss. But I don't think there's any way to change people's, if they dislike someone enough to create a full post, not worrying too much whether or not it's fair or true. I mean, I don't think there's anything that anyone can do to change their mind. I have seen, when you have sent me stuff, I have seen some things that have been kind of formulated in the same way that like my high school bullies would formulate things, which also is like, I don't know if people are aware of how they sound online. Of course, not everybody, but there's definitely, there's always fair criticism, and there's always this like, I don't like this person, I can't explain why. That's fair. There's a lot of people where I'm like, I don't jive with this person, but I can't explain why. I think that's probably the most honest and fair thing people can say. But there's definitely been a lot of posts that I've seen before I quit as well, and also sent to me, that have been like, some people wording it in a way that's like, that's giving a high school bully flashback. And it is a shame. And again, I wonder if that's how they talk in real life too. I really hope not, because again, I have had friends in my life that have been very... if you ever get mascara, by the way, the best way to get rid of it is with a dry spoolie. I've had friends that have talked like that in real life, and I deliberately broke it off with them, because I was like, this is not the kind of person I want to be. So when people say stuff like that and then they're like, I don't like you, I'm like it's mutual. I don't like you either. But if you are the kind of person that like those kind of things bring you down, like it brought me down, just, there are, I don't know, I was gonna say there are positive forums online. I'm like, is there? I don't even know if there are positive forums online anymore. Honestly, when I'm like, I mean, it's sad to say that, but like, is there? I don't know. And also, like, I don't think it's good to sugarcoat things either, but I like, the reason why I used to be in like, again, League of Legends and World of Warcraft forums was because, like, you know, you want to read about what people have to say, you want to discuss a hobby that you have, and when it just ends up being like people name calling each other, it just, that's not productive for anyone. And that's not probably the reason why somebody is on a computer game forum and they want to discuss their favorite hobby, and it ends up just being very toxic. So I'm sure there are. I used to remember MMO Champion, right? And Icy Veins. Is that still a thing? Oh my god, Icy Veins. The way that I was hooked to Icy Veins, to see all the rotations. Do you remember Retry Paladin rotation back in ICC? When the rotation on Icy Veins was press whatever's off cooldown? That was a good toxic. I freaking love that. I used to have MMO Champion as my starter page. You know, when you start the browser, that came up. Should I be admitting that? I don't know if I should be admitting that. Forget I said that. I actually have some new lashes to try. So I'm gonna put on my lashes and I am gonna blow dry this a bit. Oh my gosh. Very sexy. And I'll be back. Okay, here we are. Some lashes are on. I think they're looking really cute, and I did blow dry my hair. I didn't do anything with my hair. I did cut off some of my hair a while ago because I was feeling it was looking a little frizzy McFrizzerson. I still feel like it's maybe a little frizzy, but it's growing out again. This is my hair without any extensions or anything like that. It's just, this is it. This is basically it, but thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think down below. Be nice. Or not. Listen, I can't control the internet. The internet do be interneting for sure. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see, like, I'll put some details about what I was using down in the description box in case you're interested. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon in another video. I don't know what. I'm feeling a little all over the place when it comes to makeup content right now because I don't really know what I want to be filming. I know you were asking, like, I saw a question and I think I answered it even about the makeup roulette. I do want to film that, definitely. I think the next video that you're seeing, or maybe that was the video you already saw, I don't know when I'm posting this, will be with the new Cosmic Beauty launch. I do want to film with that. I think I'm going to film that tomorrow. Other than that, I'm like, I don't really know what I want to be filming, but check the description box for more info. Let me know if there's anything that is like, I would like to film some more videos that isn't just me putting on makeup. Is there anything else? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know about that as well. If you want to see more videos altogether, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you soon.